Oh man, it's cool. He did yellow with, I don't know, red outline or whatever the hell he did. It was like, bro, you don't know how hard it was for me to hop the fence, avoid that dog, find a way to climb up. And then when I got to the top, realized the barbed wire cut me here and I'm bleeding and filling in and trying to suck my own blood. And when you just see the final product, people don't see the blood, sweat, and tears. People don't appreciate kind of the journey until you take them on the journey, you know? The ghetto bird is out. We painted a lot of subway tunnels here. Good time spent, you know? I think in the very beginning there's a lot of anxiety, and I think after a while there's also like a very calming feeling to it, you know? It's somewhere in the city where you're almost likely not to run into anyone. It could be middle of the daytime and you're down there by yourself. Good, quiet, silent moment in a weird way. Sense of just like being out in the city, you know what I mean? Like you're out there, you kind of got like a mission, a goal you're trying to accomplish, and the game is kind of to like just blend into the city somehow. Walking around in plain sight, people can't see you, and I feel especially like at night, I feel like one becomes like kind of like become one with the city, so to speak, because you're hearing all the sounds, you're taking into account. It's a jungle, you know what I mean? It's like the same way a tiger can hear a fucking monkey in a tree and an elephant down the block, you know? Kind of the same way, you know, you're paying attention to what's going on, you're hyper aware of what's going on around you. In a sense, that kind of grounds me, you know what I mean? It just makes you like very present of what's going on right at this moment, you know? Like ordinarily you're just like marching through to get to your destination or whatever it is. I feel like very few times we actually just sit and just watch the city and like, what am I in the middle of, you know? And I feel like that's very therapeutic to me. It just kind of like grounds me, and just, there's definitely been times we've been painting missions, and, you know, even recently with a couple of homies, we did a spot where like the train comes out of the tunnel, and I swear to God, I feel like they knew we were there and they were just playing with us. They would like bring the train out, they bring it forward, they move it back, and we were just playing like bass, like, we're safe, no we're not. No, we're safe, no we're not. It was just a lot of exercise on live train tracks with a lot of spray paint, and like, it was a bunch of us. So it was, I mean, I made it home that night, so mission accomplished, but a lot of activity, a lot more than what I expected. Cooking is my shit. We're just creating things, so just, it's that love, man, you know, it's that love, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, it's like grandma or ma, you know what I mean? Like, that shit came from the heart. And like feeding people is like one of the most like first jobs ever. It's like a baby. As soon as you're born, it's like, come eat, motherfucker. I will say in the very beginning when I wrote graffiti, the majority of the times that I was arrested, I was innocent, you know? Like the first time I was arrested, I wasn't even doing graffiti. Me and the homie Fame P-H-A-M-E is a guy who I kind of grew up with doing graffiti. He's younger than me, but once we got together, it was just fucking, we were on the same agenda. We knew what time it was. Dude, we were just walking, we were gonna go to the train, and the funny thing was, there was like a train station where like, if you walk through someone's backyard, you could literally walk onto the platform. So we're like, yo, let's go back there. Like, we weren't trying to pay for the train. I was probably like 19 years old. And as soon as I bend the corner, fucking cop lights hit us, searched us. We had so much spray paint. We had like 20 cans each. Put our bags down. What are you doing? You guys doing graffiti? It was like, yo, we didn't do shit. We was going over there to a friend's house. Some car shows up with a woman in the back seat. They shine the light on us, and they're like, sorry guys, bad news. What was the charge? Who the fuck knows? This is Giuliani days though, you know what I mean? It's like, back in those days, the central booking, he was going to jail for like 3-4 days. Central booking now is a joke. I feel like that shit was nothing. That was light, and I knew I didn't do anything wrong, so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing. Especially in the very beginning, graffiti was like, it's cool to kind of go somewhere and get lost, but you're still confident enough to be like, I'll be all right. That's what graffiti was. In the very beginning, knowing that I was innocent, even though I was guilty, because I really didn't do nothing yet, I still was like, you know what, fuck it, let's keep moving forward. And Fame felt the same way. I mean, obviously in the beginning, like, you get arrested, you're just like, fuck, this shit is whack. Like, it wasn't necessarily an enjoyable experience, but it was just like, you know, like, can I handle this? Yeah, this was nothing. Like, nobody wants to go to jail and sleep on a fucking bench or the floor or whatever, but this was nothing to me. I was like, this is light work. I've had my share of tough times, even at that young age, and even now. That was nothing. Go to the trusty Vans. This is my third pair of this same shoe. This shoe served me well. Perfect, let's run it. I'll get paint on it. Once I get paint on it, I start going on the internet looking for another pair. I think I've gotten plenty out of graffiti in a sense of just like, a perspective on life, a certain kind of way you see things, kind of crystal clear. The places it's taking me, the doors it's been able to open. Just seeing ordinary things in a specific way, just, you know, being hyper aware of certain things. And graffiti always has you kind of like looking around for things, and as you're looking for spots, you see a lot of the middle ground that everyday people kind of maybe overlook, you know. Just think it gives you like a great sense of like awareness, like your surroundings, you know, what's going on around you. It's like, you know, graffiti's in your face, you know what I mean? But most people don't even pay attention to it. And I feel like there's a lot that goes on in your face, and most people aren't paying attention to it. And I feel like those are some of the things that I took away from graffiti, in a sense of, it's a jungle, man, you know, and just on your P's and Q's in this jungle, you know? It's definitely like a sense of like street smarts. Definitely a language that most people could live here their whole life and don't kind of understand it, you know, or don't speak it, you know? You definitely know the best shortcuts. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I've been on a lot of train tracks over the years, so between like running from like construction workers, like, because sometimes it may not even be like the stop or the station, you know, the tunnel you're painting where they're working, but they need to their highway, you know what I mean? So they pass through and, you know, they spot you. Some of these guys are bold, man. They'll jump on live tracks and start like chasing after you. You gotta be out, you know? You gotta run into the station, you gotta be out, you know? I've had a time recently where we were in a tunnel, me and a homie I was just on the phone with, Z-Rock. We're painting a spot, you know, doing our thing in the tunnel, and we was kind of already mapping it out. Next thing we know, we see a train pull into the station, into the tunnel. So we're like, oh shit, there's a train there. So we're like watching this train, which is like 3 tracks over, just like pull in and park. Conductor turns the train off, exits the train. We're like, oh shit, you can smell the spray paint, you're in the tunnel. So we start like walking towards the next station. So as we're walking to the station, like it's a lot of shit down there, rocks, wires, rails, okay, it's very hard to like move fast and quiet. It's either you gotta move fast and make noise, or move slowly and move really quiet, you know? By the time we started to get to the station and making so much noise, we caught their attention, and we can see like lights in the distance, like it looked like they were running at us. You can see the motion. So we're like, fuck. So we ran onto the station, we look, we're just like, oh shit, next train is like 10 minutes. So we need to do something. So we ran out of the station, and it's one of those stations where you can get on the other side. So we got on the other side, come down, the next train is at 1 minute. We see the train workers jumping onto the opposite platform, looking for us, but we're across from them. They don't even notice us, and it's just, as soon as the train pulls in, they kind of like look, and it's kind of like, oh shit. And we made it just in time. We got on the train, and let's just say I slept in my own bed that night. So, yeah.